I've been actually watching to have you in the group to spread your knowledge and your wisdom to everybody who's here, and hopefully they'll be able to implement that in their business as well. So I'm going to turn this over to you and let you share all of your brilliance with everybody here. And then at the last 5 minutes, we'll open it up for some questions.
Perfect. I'm excited. Let's rock. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Amber, for putting all of this together. I know that there's a lot of work that goes into this stuff behind the scenes. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity today. And I have slides for you all today, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I tell my clients, which is when I have slides, make sure to bust out a pen and paper, right? So let me just present it real quick, and then we can dive right in so you guys can follow along. All right, so can I just get a yes in the chat? There's a few people here. Can I just get a yes in the chat that everything's all good and you can see the slides and everything's good? Okay, all right. Yep, okay, thanks, Amber. Wonderful. Okay, guys, so I'm one of these types of trainers who likes to get to the point. So today we're going to be talking about how to turn followers into quick cash. And I mean as quick as in like the next 7 days. And it's going to be the formula that you need to know to close more sales consistently, because this whole summit is about sustainability, but also without being sleazy. And I'm going to be sharing a few interesting things with you guys today. And I encourage you, and I'll tell you when you have to take a screenshot. I'm going to encourage you to do that, because I'm going to be sharing some interesting statistics today that most women business owners that I talk to don't know when I bring this up with them, and literally just a few tweaks and you can have more sales coming in the door. And we also have a very special gift for you at the end to help you start turning these followers into quick cash. So make sure to stick around. I'm super excited that you're here. Happy International Women's Day. And before we begin, I just want to get one thing out of the way, which is if you have failed at closing the amount of business you know you're supposed to have, you are in the right place. And I know how frustrating it can be, right? To know that you have a really good idea and a really good service, and the sales are just not coming in as they should. And I'm going to be explaining some of the potential holes that you might have in your sales process that we can plug up very, very quickly so we can start turning that around. So my goal for this training is I want to show you how you can easily increase your sales by 30% at least with just a few tweaks to your approach. I also want to show you a 5-step sales process that will guarantee that you grow your business in a sustainable way. And this group is actually going to get a piece of this training that I haven't shared with anyone as of yet at all, period. So you guys are going to get some of the first information because I have new data that has come in. So very quickly, in case you don't know who I am, I see a lot of new names. I know it's a very big group. My name is Amanda Abella. I'm the founder of Make Money Your Honey, which is a marketing and sales training company. I've been in sales for 15 years. I've done all kinds of sales. I have done fundraising. I've done recruiting. I've had 2 different kinds of businesses. In my first business, what I was doing was I was a content marketer for financial companies. So I had a lot of banks as clients and I was doing their digital marketing, and then, or like their blog. I basically joke and I was like, oh, I was doing blogs for banks. And then I transitioned out of that starting in 2017. And I started basically training women on how to do marketing and sales because I had to go learn from men. And I realized that there was a really big issue in the marketplace, that there just wasn't really good skills training for us. And we've had almost 3,000 clients and customers today. And basically we exist to give women the tools and the mindset they need to succeed in male dominated landscapes like sales. So very quickly, because this is about sustainability, I was totally burned out in my first business. I've experienced burnout in the second business, and I know what it's like to spin my wheels. I was once rejected 60 times in 1 month trying to sell one-on-one coaching. This was back in 2015. It was absolutely brutal. Most people, when I say that, they're like, oh my God, I would have given up. And I was like, I did for about a year, and then I was back at it. So lesson number 1, never give up. Because I've gone from being rejected 60 times in 1 month to now being able to close 6 figures in sales within a month. So lesson number 1, never give up. And, you know, I went through a decade where I hustled my ass off, but I was still struggling financially. And I now, in retrospect, I can tell you exactly why. So this is me in my financial media days, me doing an interview. That was my first speaking gig ever. We did a conga line. It was very embarrassing. I had no idea what I was doing. But all of that to say, I've been in this for a long time and I've made a lot of mistakes and I have a lot of real world experience and data that I'm bringing to you guys today. And here's what I realized. I learned two very important things that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. Well, three really. I learned that I needed actual business process. So we're going to be talking about process today because this is about sustainability. I spent a decade running around like a headless chicken, basically just trying to hustle for money. I would love to hear in the chat who does that, who hustles for money. You're like, who do I got to call today? What do I got to do? What's going on? Who do I got to email? And then before you know it, you've just been running around all day long and trying to be like, who's got money, right? So I understand what that's like. And that's not sustainable. You got to figure out how to turn this into a cycle, which is what I'm going to be showing you today. I also realized I needed to up level my skill set, right? Because even though I'd been in sales for 15 years, I'll tell you now what my sales training at my jobs were you're great with people, go handle them. I didn't have proper sales training ever, even though I was in sales jobs. So I had to start making sense of why I was being successful and start reverse engineering what was going on. Because if I was ever to build a sustainable business, that means eventually I have to hand this off to other people. If I can't explain to them what I'm doing, there's no way this is going to be sustainable. So I had to figure that out. I had to reverse engineer what I was doing. And then I also needed to learn how to apply the right energy and mindset to those sales skills that really matter. So I'll be sharing a couple of points on that today. This is, P&L. You can see like almost 50K in cash. We've got passive income coming in. This is one of our first ever client events. This was before COVID. The first and only one we've done up until then. It was literally right before COVID. And a lot of us were in town for a conference in Washington, D.C. We had a lot of clients in Washington, D.C. We did our first event. And then the picture that you're going to see on the right is our first ever employee, Xenia, who I took from crying. She didn't even want to pick up the phone. She didn't want to talk to anybody, to now closing sales worth thousands of dollars. In fact, while I'm here giving this presentation to you right now, that's exactly what she's doing at this exact same time. So she's actually one of our best success stories. So here's the process, the sales flywheel. This is one of the areas where I need you guys to kind of take a picture, because this is a big part of what's missing for people. And we're going to get a little deeper into this, because part of what's going on for a lot of people is they'll be posting all over social media, but then they'll start complaining that nobody's buying, no one's sliding into the DMs, no one's filling out applications. You dropped a link, they didn't do anything with it. Can somebody just like let me know if that's been their experience? Because we hear that all the time. It's like, I'm constantly posting on social media, but I'm not really getting anywhere with it. What is going on? So you're posting, right? But you're not really seeing results. So let me actually check in. I used to all the time. Thank you for being honest about that, Amber, because a lot of people just really don't understand what is going on in that regard. And I'm actually going to pull up another diagram for you guys so I can actually help you make sense of this. 1 second, please. This is the diagram with the statistics that really, like, when people see this, they're like, what? I had no freaking idea. So I'm going to pull that one up for you guys real quick. Just let me know in the chat if you guys can. Well, I have to do the screen share. 1 second. Let me do a screen share real quick so you guys can see this, because when I share this statistic with people, people are usually in shock. All right, so let me pull this up real quick. Present, let's go. Okay, and I think we're good. So here's the thing. Most people, particularly online, have been taught marketing. Marketing is great. You need marketing. I can teach you marketing all day long. I could teach you how to get 100 leads in a day. That might be for another International Women's Day event for free, by the way. So marketing is what gets attention. It's what keeps you top of mind. It's a funnel. It's kind of like an upside down triangle. So the idea is that you fill the top of the funnel, and then as they go lower down on the funnel, right, then eventually you get to money. So what a lot of people don't realize is that the average conversion for that is only 1 to 5%. So basically what that means is for every 100 people that you get, for example, on your email list, one's going to buy. 1 to 5. That's a lot of freaking work, right? To constantly be posting on social media for only a 1% conversion. And that's why a lot of people are exhausted. We have a client who came to work with us yesterday to look at her sales systems, and this is her existence right now, right? And she's exhausted. And I'm like, yes, because it's not sustainable. What happens, that's still a very important part of business, and you should figure that out. But when you combine that with sales, that's when magic happens. So marketing is how you get the attention. Sales is what converts the attention into money. Sales focuses on people skills, and it's more of a cycle. So whereas a funnel is an upside down triangle, sales is more of a circle. And if you work that circle diligently every day, either manually or now there's also ways of automating it, you will never be without business. So I'll give you an example momentarily, right? So it's about focusing on the long-term sustainability, and it's evergreen. When you combine this with your marketing, that conversion goes to 30%. 30%. That's a huge difference. So where most women fail, particularly online, is they're only doing marketing, but they're really struggling with sales because they don't understand sales cycle, sales process, and they don't have sales skills. Yeah, I got a yes over here. Oh, wait, hold on. Huge. Yes, I felt that to my core. Okay, so this is part of what's going on, right? That if you're like, I'm posting, and I'm getting nothing, yeah, okay, there might be a messaging problem, or it could just be that you don't understand the stats. And we're very big on stats over here in my business. So people realize there's not necessarily anything wrong with them, right? It's just maybe there's an element of business that you haven't incorporated yet, like sales. So let me give you a brief overview of what this sales flywheel looks like, right? And then I'm going to very quickly give you 2 mindset tweaks, and then we're going to leave it open for questions. So phase 1 is the outreach or the greeting. So you've got your funnel, you're getting the attention, they're commenting on your post, maybe they're on your email list, and this is where most people go wrong. They expect the funnel to do all the work for them, or they expect the social media posts to do all the work for them. What I encourage you to do is I encourage you to learn how to reach out to people in the DMs. I encourage you to learn how to make phone calls. There's actually ways of learn how to send voicemails. There's ways of actually automating that now, depending on how big the volume is. Send text messages, right? Or send a video email to these people. Video emails, text messages, and voicemail drops actually have a super much higher conversion rate than just email alone. And part of what's going on out here is that people are posting on social media, here's the buy now link, and they're hearing crickets, or maybe they're posting some sort of an opt-in or a freebie. Hey, put your information here. In exchange, we're going to send you something for free. And then they want the email marketing to do all the work, but there's no other touch point with these people, right? So that means that there's something in the sales process that's missing. Now, in the beginning, most people do this manually, right? So they'll be like, oh, great, somebody opted into my email list. I've got the automated emails going out. Let me send them a text message. Let me make a phone call. And if you're like, what do I say? I got you. Hold on. We got you. But even adding in something like that is major. And then eventually you automated it. So I actually automated this process last week. I added automated text and automated video emails to all our automated systems. We had a 600% increase in sales call bookings in 7 days, just from the tweaks that I made last week. Because what I did was I basically took what I knew how to do in sales, make the phone call, send the text message, send the DM, send a video email. I got the data, right? Which was, okay, well, video emails and text messages get way higher responses than these emails, right? And then after a while, once I had enough data, I automated it, right? 600% increase in 7 days. just from implementing these things. So then I'm going to explain the rest of that's the main thing most people need to add in that they're really dropping the ball on based on my experience. But I'm going to talk about the rest of this very quickly and then go through the mindset shifts, because I know somebody's going to be like, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Right? We're going to talk about the mindset tweak. So from there, we go into qualifying and booking sales calls. You can do this in person or in the DMs, right? Or you can have applications, or you can have the process automated. At this point in my business, the process is automated because the volume is too high, but I know how to do it in the DMs or at a networking event, or basically at the drop of a hat if I need to. From there, you go into enroll, which is the presentation skills, objection handling, closing skills. Those are normally what's needed there. A lot of people don't realize that it's actually easier to increase your conversion on sales conversations than it is to find new leads. So if you have a lot of leads, but they're not converting, then you know you have a sales skills problem, or possibly a sales process problem. Now, if you don't have enough leads, that's a whole other training and a whole other process for another time. But if you have social media followers, you've got leads. From there, you go into follow-up, right? So people drop the ball on here. It takes 7 to 11 touches to get a deal across the table. Some people say it's as much as 15 now because of social media. And half of people who are in sales, which is if you run a business, make no mistake, you are in sales. Only half of people who are in sales follow up more than twice. But the statistics say you haven't gone the distance. You got to do at least 7 to 11. And it's similar. You got to hit them with different touch points, right? It's not enough to just email. Can we do a voice note drop? Do we send a text message? Can we get video email going? And in my company, we teach people how to set that up. Do it manually at first, get the data, then automate it. And then finally, and this makes a sustainable business, and people online drop the ball here all the time. So emphasis on this one. You should be following up with everybody who's already paid you at least once a month, because second money is the easiest money, right? They've already paid you once. You could turn a $27 product sale into a $40,000 contract. I've done that. But most people neglect this, especially online. It's like, oh, I got your credit card. All right, well, you hand it off to other people, but there's no system in the business to reach out to people who've already paid you. And those people will pay you again and again and again and again. And retaining customers is a lot less expensive and a lot easier than trying to find new leads. So if you're able to combine all these things, consistent lead flow with good conversion rates, and then also client retention, you have a sustainable business without having to run around like a headless chicken. Okay, and then you've got money coming in the door daily. So very quickly, right, then I'm going to leave it open for questions. If you don't have the right mindset, everything that I just said is not going to matter. So there's 2 things you need to understand, right? Number 1, conviction. Right? Somebody somewhere is going to say, oh man, that's a lot of touch points with someone. What if I annoy them? First of all, the data is very clear. It speaks for itself. You need to have multiple touch points with people, and it needs to be in different ways. And people respond to different things. I was recently on a training. I can't remember her name, unfortunately, but her and her husband run a company where they help people set up an event funnel. As soon as somebody hits their email list, they are emailing and texting 5 times in a day, and they gross $1 million a month. The statistics speak for themselves. They've been around forever. People need to hear from you more. So if you just increase your frequency, whether you're doing it manually or you automate it, you're going to make more money, because it's a math problem at that stage in the game. Now, in order to do that well, you need to have conviction, which basically means a mental state of being convinced or fully persuaded. If you are not convicted by your product or your service or your business, that's where you're going to hear a lot of the buts. Oh, but I can't do this. Oh, but that seems like a lot. Oh, but I don't want to be annoying. If you were convicted, you quite frankly wouldn't care. You wouldn't care. You would do whatever is necessary to solve your client or customer's problem, because you would understand that in them paying you, it's a benefit to them. And then finally, right, it's authority. And this is a tone thing, right? So this could come across in your marketing. It could also come across when you're actually talking to people, whether in the DMs or on sales calls. Authority is major. right? It's the power to influence or command thought, opinion, or behavior. So if you're going into sales situations, whether it's you're doing outreach in the DMs, or it's an actual closing call demo, and you're not speaking with authority and confidence, the buyer is looking at you like you don't know what you're doing. And like you don't know what you're talking about. Now, this is skill set, right? Like there's scripts you can follow. And I always recommend that people do role play, which my company offers. We do role play with our clients. So you're practicing with us and not on potential buyers. But I'll use the demo call as an example, right? Or a sales call, discovery call. It goes by 1,000 different names, but it's basically a sales call. It's when you're about to exchange business. Part of what happens is a lot of business owners will go into that call as if they're interviewing for a job, not as if they're there to close a sale and close somebody's problem. And what's interesting is the prospect is looking to you to lead the call because they don't want that burden. They don't want that burden, right? They're like, this is the expert. They should be leading me, and then they can relax. So if you learn how to lead that call with authority, and again, it does have to do with tone and what to say and when to say it. And my company can help you with that. We just don't have time to go into all of that today. But if you go into those situations with authority and you take control and you take the lead, the buyer relaxes. And that's where you want them. You want them relaxed, right? So they can open up to you and so you can get their problem solved and so you can get paid. So those are the two mindset things. And then I know somebody's going to be asking, well, what do I say? What do I say? What do I say when I reach out to people? We're giving it away for free, right? So I know Amber's got her link that she can drop. There's also the bit.ly here. And basically you're going to get the first sales script. So this is something you can use on Facebook. We've tested it on LinkedIn. We've even tested it on LinkedIn, on TikTok, and it's closed sales. So you're going to get one free sales. Well, you're really going to get about 5 free sales scripts from us that you can use on different social media channels to start engaging with these followers and start booking them on sales calls. And that's where I'm going to leave it because I know people are going to have questions.
Yeah, so we have just like 2 minutes left because I do have another call right after this. So for people who have questions, I think we probably maybe have time for a question, and then other questions for sure the live video. It's going to be in the group and it's also in the event. So I will tag Amanda in both of those places. So does anyone have a question that you want to ask Amanda really quickly?
I see some typing going on. Mind blown.
Mind blown.
Does emailing multiple times increase the amount of people who unsubscribe? Yeah, but if you don't want to be there, you're costing me money. So bye.
Yeah, that was a big one for me to overcome. And same for group members. Oh my gosh, but what if they leave? Well, you have 31,000 more people to talk to. Yeah. It's okay.
That's a whole other conversation on always making sure that you have a very full pipeline, because that stuff is going to happen and it's fine, right? But to your point, if you have a group of 30,000 members and there's more coming in every day, that's another conversation. That's like a lead gen conversation. But every sales problem you could possibly have is solved by having a very full pipeline.
Absolutely. Well, Amanda, thank you so much for your time. Like I said, I'm going to tag you in the videos, both in the group and the event that lives in the group. So if anybody has any questions afterwards, don't hesitate to leave those questions there. She will definitely come back and answer everybody. The link to get that sales script is in the copy above. So definitely hop in there and snag that while it's available. Thank you so much for your time, and happy International Women's Day, Amanda.
Likewise. Thank you so much for having me. It was an honor. And
my pleasure.
I'll make sure to answer everybody's questions as soon as the comments come in. Bye, everyone.